This is Weekly Incident Watch, Episode 1. May 1st, 2026. The Foundation series is done. From here, this is a record of what's happening, watched through Ninja's eyes. And the first week picks itself. On April 18th, a single compromised verifier network let an attacker mint $292 million of rsETH out of nothing. The Aftershock pulled DeFi's largest protocols into something the industry is calling DeFi United, and into the hardest test programmable finance has faced. First, the full picture. 72 hours before the exploit, suspicious changes landed in the configuration of a LayerZero decentralized verifier network. Then a fake cross-chain message minted rsETH that should not exist. The attacker deposited it into Aave as collateral, borrowed ETH and USDC, and laundered $175 million within 46 minutes. Total damage, $292 million. Within days, technical analyses landed. Within 2 weeks, relief proposals from 6 major protocols were moving through DAO governance, all in the same week. For independent analyses, Halborn, Slowmist, Blockade, and Chainalysis agree on 3 things. The root cause was single DVN dependency. The 3-layer DeFi Lego of liquid res taking, cross-chain, and lending is structurally fragile. And response speed is fatal, 46 minutes for laundering. They diverge on attribution. Slowmist and Chainalysis suggest a Lazarus group link, Halborn declined, and on where responsibility sits, KelpDAO's operational choices, or LayerZero's defaults. Look closer, the Foundation series is being restaged. 1. Aave swallowed the mint whole, rsETH arriving at 200 times the 30-day median, ungated by the receiving protocol. The resolve pattern in a new form. 2. The auto-liquidation cascade, price drops triggered bots, dumps further drops. Automation faster than humans, running the wrong way. 3. The cross-industry response is happening after the fact. The early warning network is still a proposal. And 4. The limit of code is trust. The final keeper of trust was a human DVN operator. Code is immutable. The humans who run it are not. Now the response. DeFi United, coordinated relief. LayerZero committed 10,000 ETH. Compound proposed up to 3,000. Lido, 2,500 rsETH plus residual loss coverage. And a joint proposal, Aave, Kelp, LayerZero, EtherFi, Compound, to release $71 million of frozen ETH held at Arbitrum. To my knowledge, this is the largest cross-industry relief coordination in DeFi history. Worth recording. But uncritical praise would be sloppy analysis. Relief came with structure proposals. ERTN, a universal real-time taint alert network, anomaly detection, universal alert, emergency response, now on the Optimism and Arbitrum forums. On EigenLayer, the Quest AVS, a macro-prudential oracle publishing a gray zone score through an ERC8004 aware interface, explicitly aiming to become the Ethereum equivalent of the BIS. That's the first time DeFi has consciously referenced Basel. And per protocol reform in parallel, Aave's tiered risk firewalls, Morpho's sealed bid oracle migration. Web 2 has been exactly here. June 26, 1974. Bankhouse Herstatt in Cologne loses its license over FX losses. The event wasn't the point, the structure was. That morning, counterparties delivered Deutsche Marks to Herstatt. The bank was closed before New York opened, and the dollars were never paid. Principal risk amplified by time zones, Herstatt risk. Roughly $620 million of settlement defaults rippled through the network in a single day. 6 months later, the G10 central bank governors convened at the BIS in Basel and established a committee. In 1975, the Basel Concordat divided supervisory responsibility for cross-border banks. In 1988, 14 years after the shock, Basel I internationalized an 8% minimum capital ratio. After Lehman, Basel III added leverage and liquidity rules. The committee itself, consultative, no legal binding power, a permanent secretariat at BIS, enforced indirectly through national supervisors. And the technical fix came on a separate track, CLS Bank, multi-currency simultaneous settlement, in 2002. Regulation and infrastructure, 2 wheels. Hold DeFi United against that founding. 3 things deserve praise: shock-driven convening in days, not 6 months. Voluntary participation by major players, through governance. And movement beyond relief into structural reform. But 3 problems mirror them. No permanent secretariat, nothing guarantees the same players show up next time. No standardization mechanism, Aave, Morpho, and Lido are each moving their own proposals with no place to integrate them. And free riders, nothing shapes norms for major protocols that didn't contribute. Basel built a de facto entry barrier. DeFi has none yet. Here is the core argument. DeFi's essence is not decentralization, it's programmability. Basel's 14 years to Basel I weren't the cost of agreement, they were the cost of implementation and verification. DeFi is different. A rule like, don't accept Loader tokens as collateral, takes effect chain-wide with a few lines of code. A policy can live inside the transaction itself. The implementation is the rule. So the enforcement half of what Basel solved can be automated. But deciding what to enforce, debate, agreement, legitimacy cannot. That's the dividing line. Run the matrix. The permanent secretariat, largely solvable. What the BIS really supplies is shared facts for deliberation, and multiple independent monitoring protocols can generate those in parallel. Depending on a single monitor would recreate the DVN problem. Ninja is designed as one of many neutral observers, not the sole keeper. Standardization, replaceable by economic pressure. Composable gating, where lending protocols only accept attested collateral, a rating agency model. With 2008's caution, issuer pays ratings race to the bottom, so DeFi monitoring must be user pays. Free riders, half solvable. Economic exclusion works. Forced participation contradicts permissionlessness. Expect a 2-tier split, monitored DeFi and wildcat DeFi. And crisis time human coordination, not solvable by technology at all. Through Ninja's eyes, the incident was deterministically visible. Layer 1 signals, an update config transaction on the DVN contract 72 hours early. A 0.3% divergence between the DX price and the Oracle. A mint at 200 times the 30-day median, verified by a single DVN. Immediate collateralization at Aave within 30 minutes. Layer 2 renders that readable. This looks like a legitimate bridge transfer, but one verifier signed it, the volume is 200 times normal, and it went straight into a lending pool. And a Shogun policy, hold any single DVN mint above 10 times the 95th percentile that collateralizes within 10 minutes, could have stopped the deposit before Aave accepted it. Briefly, the other signals this week. Zeta Chain, a $334,000 exploit through a vulnerability previously reported by a bounty hunter and dismissed, a textbook triage failure. Sweat, $3.5 million recovered after blockades detection, the independent second channel, working in the wild. André Cronier reopened the circuit breaker debate. Is DeFi with centralized emergency stops still DeFi? And Consensus Diligence counted over 130 million lost to DeFi attacks in the first quarter. So DeFi United is about to be tested, and not on technology. How will neutrality be ensured among contributors with conflicts of interest? Can a voluntary coalition become a continuous consultative body? Why should a forum with no legal grounding be recognized as norm setting? The Foundation series claimed DeFi compresses Web 2's 50 years into 15. That was a claim about technical compression. The human process of agreement doesn't compress. Basel took 14 years. Whether DeFi United takes 14, or 3, or never, depends on choices being made right now. I'll keep watching next week. That's Weekly Incident Watch, Episode 1. If you want to check a contract yourself, send the address to the Ninjascan bot on Telegram. For proof of concept, investment, or grant conversations, the contact is open, and the white paper covers the full architecture. Next week starts from whatever the world does next. See you then.